dear student. Now we are dealing with the new science session in your syllabus. We are talking in the previous session about the unit 1 and bringing it to its end and make a full revision about this unit. Now we are dealing with the second unit in your syllabus today. This unit is talking about the thermal energy. Thermal energy in our daily life, it means heat energy. Heat energy means the coldness or hotness of things around us. This is measured by a physical quantity which is called the temperature. Now, we will not talk more about these parameters, but we will discuss them in our explanation today like that. Heat conduction. Now I need you to answer this question. What do you know about heat? What do you know about heat? It is the important energy used in our life, also in our home, in various fields, as in warming, cooking, and heating, and drying washed clothes. So the definition for the heat energy or the heat conduction, heat energy, it is the important energy. Heat energy, it is the important energy. We can use it in our life, like in homes, warming, get heat, cooking, making food, and heating and drying washed clothes. In industry, heat has many uses. It is used in making and processing food, glass, paper, and textiles. In industry, heat has many uses. We use it in making, production, and processing food. Glass, the glass manufacturing uses heat also. Paper and textiles. The question now, what is the difference between heat and temperature? Heat energy and temperature. Heat is a form of energy, and its measurement will be as a temperature. As the temperature increases, the heat energy also increases. So the temperature is a measure for heat energy. Heat, it is a form of energy. The definition, the simplest definition for heat is, it is a form of energy. You know the forms of energy: electric energy, light energy, and heat is a form of energy also, which transfers from the higher temperature object to the lower temperature object. Heat, its definition, is a form of energy that transfers from the higher temperature object to the lower temperature object. Like any other thing, the water falls from the higher position to the lower position. Like that, the other definition for the temperature, temperature may be defined as, it is the degree of hotness, not hotness only, but the coldness also of the body. So the hotness degree or coldness degree of the body measured by the temperature. You can say that the body temperature equals 40 degrees Celsius, and you can also say the body may be in minus or negative 10, negative 15 degree Celsius. So the hotness and coldness of the body is the temperature of the body. The special devices are used to measure temperature. This devices or instruments is called the thermometers. The thermometers. And there are many types of thermometers. We will talk about every one of them later. These devices used to measure the temperature of the body. Like that, this is called the clinical thermometer. It is graduated from or starting from 35 degrees Celsius and ends up at 40 degrees Celsius. It is used in hospitals for measurement the temperatures of the patient persons. Are all matters equal in conductivity? The question now, if we get different materials and put at the start of every one of them a flame or a source of heat, and touching the end of every one, does we feel the hotness in every one of them equal? The question now, are all matters equal in conductivity? The term conductivity, it means the transferring of heat from place to another. Conductivity. Metal can conduct heat and other material cannot conduct heat. So the answer would be, after this question, what do you need to make an experiment? Glass container, beaker made of glass, metal spoon, plastic roller, wooden pencil, hot water, clay, and 3 buttons. Glass container or beaker made of glass, metal spoon, so the first material now is metal, plastic roller, the second material is a plastic, wooden pencil, the third material is wood, and we will make a comparison between the 3 materials, metal, plastic, and wood, using hot water as a source of heat energy and the clay to fix the 3 buttons. Now, what will you do by these tools? The steps will be like that. After fixing the ruler, the spoon and pencil to the edge of the container and the stick, then use clay, a stick button on the ruler, spoon and pencil using molten wax. Again, ruler, spoon and pencil, and fixing them at the edge of the container using the clay. The clay is the material used for sticking. Then fixing over each one of them, ruler and the spoon and the pencil, button using molten wax. Now, after pouring hot water in the container, but not to its edge, pour hot water in the container but not to its edge till a certain limit before its edge. You can observe that the bottom fixed on metal spoon folds while other buttons don't fold. Only the button fixed on metal spoon, the only button will fold, and the other buttons will not fold. Now we can conclude that the different materials differ in conducting heat. Now, dear student, we are going to the laboratory with Mr. Muhammad Mahmoud to show this experiment but with another tools to prove that the materials have the variation in conductivity of heat. There is a good conductors of heat like metals, and there is a bad conductors of heat like wood.
Hello, my dear students. Today we'll talk about the difference in conductivity of heat between different materials, like metals and non-metals. We studied before in last or in the previous years the metals and the non-metals. As you see in the front of you, we'll bring a little amount of water and put it inside a container, as you see, like that. Tap water, not hot, not cold, and we connect three rods. Each one of them connect with different type of material like copper, iron, copper, and glass. Each one of them connect with pins, as you see in the front of you. Then there is no action here because there is no conduct of heat, because this normal temperature or normal water, tap water, not cold, not hot. مفيش أي حاجة حصلت. If we put a hot water in this container, what happens in this experiment? We will see after we change the water inside this container, and we see the effect of heat on the three materials. We will add a hot water to a container above the Bunsen flame, as you see in the front of you, until the water touch the rods of three different materials. So after while, as you see, the heat will connect our conduct of heat to the three rods, and we should make focusing on the three nails in the front of you. لازم نبص هنا, three nails. The first, iron; second, copper; third is glass. One of them falls down firstly, then the second will fall down after a while from the first material. The first is copper and the second is iron. The third is glass. We know both of copper and iron are metals, are from metals, but copper more conducts electricity or has more conductivity than iron. Both of them is metal, I know, but one of them is faster in conduct heat more than the other. But glass is considered as non-metal, bad conductor of heat, so the nail will connect with the rod and didn't fall down. This experiment is very easy to do it by yourself in the lab under supervision of your teacher. It's very easy to know the differences between materials to conduct heat at your home or at the lab.
After watching the experiment with Mr. Muhammad, now we can show by explanation the differences in conductivity of some materials. The materials differences in conducting heat, materials differences in conducting heat. The question now, what do you need? This is another experiment. We need the tools to make it. What do you need? Flame, beaker containing water, and 4 rods of different materials. Flame, beaker containing water, and 4 rods of different materials. This is another experiment to show the conductivity of the materials and its variation. The question now, what will you do by these tools? The steps will be like that. Put the 4 rods in the glass beaker containing water. Put the beaker on the flame. Catch each rod from its end to feel the hotness or coldness of the rod. The conclusion will be the materials differ in conducting heat and are classified into types like that. Good conductors of heat. These are the materials that conduct heat and let heat flow through, such as copper, aluminium, and iron, and many different materials. So we can find that the metals are good conductors of heat. Copper, aluminium, and iron are good conductors of heat. If you touch the end of copper rod, which the other end is put in a hot water, you can feel the hotness of the water. Also for aluminium and like that in iron. Now, we will talk about the other type of the materials, which is called bad conductors of heat. Bad conductors of heat. These materials don't or conduct, but not well like good conductors of heat, so it's called bad conductors of heat, which is called insulators. Insulators that don't let heat flow, such as wood, glass, plastic, paper, liquid, and gases, especially air. These materials called insulators because if you put your hand on its end and put another hand or put another end in a source of heat, you can't feel the heat in your hand because they don't let heat flow. This is called insulators. Now, we will make a comparison between the conductors, comparing conducting heat. What do you need? 2 metal racks, 3 metal rods have the same length and thickness of copper, aluminium, and iron, candle, office pens, and a stopwatch. You can find that the 3 metal rods have the same length and thickness, made from copper, which is metal, which is a good conductor of heat, aluminium, which is a good conductor of heat also, and iron, which is a good conductor of heat. Now, this experiment shows the differences between the conductors of heat. We need to make ranking of copper, aluminium, iron, and show which is the best conductor of them. What should you do? Let the candle and some drops of molten wax on the tip of each metal rod. Let the candle and some drops of molten wax on the tip of each metal rod. Stick an office pin on each metal rod by using molten wax. The pin is fixed over each rod by the wax. So if the wax is melted more, the pin will drop. Put the 3 rods on the 2 metal tracks. Put the tips of metal rods, which are free from wax, above the candle flame. Calculate the time required to drop the pins from each rod. As you know, all metals conducting heat, but this experiment shows the rate of conductivity, which conducts faster than the other. The problem now is not the conductivity, good conductor or bad conductor, no. All are good conductors. We all know that. But the problem now is find the rate of conductivity of each one. So we need to use a stopwatch to calculate the time required to drop the pins from each rod. And the observation will be like that. The office pin drop first from copper rod, then from aluminium, then from iron. The office pin drops first from the copper. It means that the copper is a very, very good conductor, and comes in the second stage, the aluminium, then last the iron. All are good conductors, but the very best one of them is the copper, and the iron comes in the later stage. We can conclude that the different metals differ in conducting heat, although they are good conductors, but the conductivity varied from metal to another. Some of them, which is copper, conducting fastly and conducting heat more than or faster than the aluminium and iron. Like that, in this picture, you can see the double glass window. Double glass window is made of two layers, two sheets of glass separated between them or evacuated, separated by air inside them. What is the reason for this window? This double glass window sandwiched between them layer of air. As we mentioned before, air is a bad conductor of heat, so the room will not catch any heat from the surrounding environment. Now, we will talk about the questions of revision. We need to revise this lesson like that. Complete the following sentences. Number one, all metals are what? Conductors of heat. All metals are what? Conductors of heat. As you know, the metals is a good conductors of heat. What conducts heat faster than aluminium? As you know from the experiment, copper conducts heat faster than aluminium. Some examples of good conductors of heat are what and what? As you know, the conductors of heat are copper and aluminium and other metals. The good conductors of heat are used in what and what? The good conductors of heat are used in what and what? Cooking pots and kettles. Some examples of bad conductors of heat are what and what? The bad conductors of heat are plastic and wood. The bad conductors of heat are used in what and what? The bad conductors of heat are used in handles of cooking pots and electric iron, handles of cooking pots and electric iron. Now we are dealing with the questions put right in the front of right statements and X or wrong in front of wrong statements. All materials are good conductors of heat. All materials are good conductors of heat. No, wrong. The materials is divided into two types, good conductors of heat and bad conductors of heat. Copper is a good conductor of heat. Copper is a good conductor of heat. The answer will be right, because the copper is a metal and all the metals are good conductors of heat. Cooking pots are made of wood. Cooking pots are made of wood. The answer will be wrong, because the cooking pots must be made of good conductor of heat, but its handles must be made of bad conductors of heat. Handles of cooking pots are made of copper. The answer will be wrong, because the copper conducts heat well, and if we're touching the handles of the cooking pots, we will feel very hot. Aluminium is good conductor. Aluminium is good conductor of heat. The answer will be right, because aluminium is considered as a metal, and all metals is conductors or good conductors of heat.